Steve again, here to do some Texas versus Vikings film breakdown. This Vikings Central podcast is brought to you by That's Badass Wood Art. Go check them out. That's badasswoodart.com. Use our code VC15, get 15% off. And also check out our other sponsor, Homage. The link's right there, homage.sjv.io/Vikings. Use that code, get our discounts, and then again, help support us here at Vikings Central. They have great t-shirts. Check them out. All your favorite sports teams, retro video games, your favorite TV shows. Just check it out. Homage. All right, so we're going to get into the film study. I'm going to bring up another screen here as well. And we're just going to get into some of the film that we saw versus the Texans and just kind of break down some of these plays. So the very first play that we're going to take a look at is going to be J.J. McCarthy. He's going to roll out in that play action, and he's going to hit his receiver on the sideline. Now, when we go back to this play, let's just rewind it a little bit. When he hits him on this reception, you can kind of see it, but he throws it behind the receiver. And I think part of that is when we go back and rewind this just a little bit more, watch where JJ releases this ball. And he rolls out in the pocket. And yes, he's got a defender coming, but he throws this off his back foot. And I think if he steps into the ball, steps in when he throws the ball here, I think he hits him in stride. And we don't run the risk of maybe that cornerback, if he's playing up close, maybe getting a tip or maybe turning that into a pick six. So you're going to see him do this. Watch his back foot throw. So it's kind of that jump back foot throw, a little bit behind the receiver. Okay. So that's something I would like to see him work on. But again, good chemistry with Jordan Addison. Okay. J.J. McCarthy again. Nice throw. Jordan Addison again with that chemistry. So that was a nice throw. Hit him on the run. He's able to turn that in some yards after catch. Okay, just again, Jordan Mason had a pretty good game, pretty good showing. I think our offensive line did a great job of just creating a hole before even contact. You get 3 or 4 yards down the line. That's a great pass. Let's go ahead and watch that back again. So he definitely leads the receiver on this play. Jordan Addison. Now, if you remember in training camp the other day, we had it was all over X, that anticipation throw. This is pretty much the exact same play where J.J. McCarthy rolls out, and before Jordan Addison is even ready, that ball is out from J.J. and he hits him right in stride. And yes, Jordan Addison, because he got held up a little bit, but coming out of his break. But again, that ball's right where it should be, and Jordan Addison's able to make a great catch on it and catch up to it. So let's watch this. What a great catch. Another run by Jordan Mason. Man, just look at him get upfield. 9-yard gain. Play action pass again. Now that was a negative 3-yard loss to CJ Ham. Not much you can do on that. I mean, that was a rollout, a screenplay to CJ, and Texans were all over it. This is a great run for a first down by J.J. McCarthy again. His throw's not there, so he's able to use his athleticism and get out of the pocket and run for the first down. J.J. on this pass, I mean, man, that defender's in his face, gets his hands up, knocks the ball down. Not much you can do on that. Okay. We got Jordan Addison in motion, give it to Jordan Mason. Again, up in the pocket. We're at least 3 yards in. The offensive line's given cushion before there's any contact. He gets about 4 to 5 yards gain on that play. So a 3rd and 5 play on this one, J.J. McCarthy out of the pocket is just a little bit too high for Jordan Mason on this play. But this was kind of like a jump pass. And what this ends up doing is, again, in the end, it's going to send up Will Reichard He's going to go ahead and put 3 on the board. That's one thing that we wanted to see from Will Reichert in this game is that he could be consistent. And he did a good job of doing that. He was 2 for 2. So every opportunity that he got in the game, even though it was only 2, he put it through the uprights. So good job, Will. You did your job. Okay, watch more of these highlights that we have. So that's the only series that JJ McCarthy did. Our defense. Now, our defense played pretty decent in this game, but with this first series, we were allowing a lot of runs up the middle and passes up the seam, and they kind of carved us up a little bit on this first drive. Yeah, another run right up the middle. Man, that's a big hole. And that's where Austin and I talked about this too. But Ivan Pace, I mean, you got to plug up some of those holes. Another run that goes for a first down. Now he cuts back the other way, but again, I mean, that's a 7-yard gain on that play out to the outside. He bounced it back out, but again, big holes on this first series. Pass up the seam. That was like an 18-yard catch from Mechie. And Davis Mills, I mean, he's doing a good job passing the ball, but I mean, their running just really carved us up on this first drive. And this series is going to end up with Davis Mills actually throwing a pass out for a touchdown. So this one's going to go for a first down here. And I believe it's this very next play. He rolls out. Yep, here it is. Rolls out, gets it in for the touchdown. Okay, so on this first series, we didn't look very good on it. But the rest of the game, our defense really did play pretty solid. We came up with some big turnovers. Austin and I talked about it. We had 3 interceptions in the game. One of them was a batted ball by Tyler Batty that was able to be brought down by our secondary. So we did a really good job with that. Sam Howell, uh, we talked about it as well on our podcast. There's not much that you can really be upset with how Sam Howell did. He went 11 for 13, 105 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Great little dink and dunk drop down pass. Again, that almost gets us a first down. It gets us 10 yards on that play. Offense sucks in the defense. Yeah, so Sam Howell was pretty methodical on this drive. He got a lot of flack during training camp, for me included, just because honestly he wasn't making very good decisions with the ball and he's throwing a lot of interceptions. But in this game, I mean, we just didn't see that. He was accurate, he was precise, and I think he just got more time in the pocket. That's a great out route pass. That's a great looking pass there, Jalen Naylor. It's Ty Chandler. I mean, he had 5 rushes. He only got 5 yards on the day. That's something that Ty Chandler has to worry about because, as you're going to see, I mean, this is a nice little screen pass, but Ty Chandler's got to worry about Xavier Scott because Xavier Scott had a big day. He had 7 runs for 40 yards. Xavier Scott was just pretty much he emphasized that I'm here to take that running back 3 job. There's Sam Howell again to Lucky Jackson. Lucky Jackson had a decent day. And then again, Will Thrill. He comes in, hits his kick again. That's his second one and the last field goal that he would have in the day. And I mentioned that our defense played a little bit better. And as you're seeing, I mean, we really just kind of sunk in on the Texans after that first drive. Gabriel Murphy comes in, I mean, making plays. I mean, what a sack. Comes around the edge. And if you're going to make the 53-man roster, plays like that is what's going to do it. Okay, so we're into the second quarter. Again, Sam Howell being methodical with his passes and going up to get it. Who else? Lucky Jackson, right? Okay, and then didn't have it on my bingo card, but Sam Howell sneaks it in for a touchdown. He didn't throw for a touchdown, but he did do the job. Uh, just making accurate passes and moving the offense down the field to sneak it in for a score. So that was our first touchdown of the season. Was a Sam Howell sneak for a touchdown. Our defense again just keeps at it, and this was the play that we got a half sack from Bo Richter and Gabriel Murphy on this play. So we had 2 sacks on the day, and that's the one that they ended up splitting a sack on. So Gabriel Murphy came away with a sack and a half on the day. Guess we kind of fixed some of those issues as far as closing up our gaps with running the ball. So we made sure that we weren't getting gashed up the middle anymore. In the third quarter, we saw Justin Jefferson making some comments through the entire third quarter, talking to Paul Allen on TV while the game was going on. That was kind of cool to see. And PA does a great job all the time. Did this last year with JJ, but JJ was in there again. And this is where Xavier Scott really started to make his presence known in the game. Again, he had seven rushes for 40 yards. Really just did a great job whenever he got the ball in this game, and just kind of showed what kind of a talent he is. Undrafted running back that we brought in, but he has a good shot right now of making this team. Defense still going at it, doing a good job, getting in there, breaking up passes. Now, Brett Rippon, and that was Brett there. Brett didn't have a very good day. He went 1 of 4. He only had 6 yards on the day. Uh, you know, Nothing real impressive. And it was pretty short lived. And then soon enough, it was Max Brosmer that ended up coming into the game and really had a great day. And as you're going to see in some of these coming up plays, Max Brosmer ended up having a day. So that's Brett Rippon here taking a sack. And again, the offensive line kind of let him through on that. As far as the kick and punt return game goes, we didn't really have anything big to speak of. I mean, that was a muff on that one, but we did have Ryan Wright pin them inside the 20 once, and you see Ambry Thomas there coming up with a big interception. That was a great play by him. And then Max Brosmer in the game. Okay, this was almost a touchdown, but it was dropped, so it was called back. But man, Dante Fleming almost had a touchdown with a almost a great catch and a great throw by Max Brosmer. But he comes back, and I do want to stop the film on this one and go back. Max Brosmer, just this is an excellent play. So he almost has the touchdown on third down. They come back on fourth down, and he throws a strike, not on his first, not on his second, but his third read on a post route to Miles Price. Watch this play. Okay, one, there's his first read. He's going to look at a second read, and then his third read, he ends up finding Miles Price right in the back of the end zone running a post route. Just an excellent throw in the back of the end zone. Great job. Max Brosmer. What a stud today. He did have a muffed handoff, but that was the third, or that was the second pick. I think the third pick we're going to end up seeing here shortly. But Max Brosmer did have one muff putt, but I think that was because we had one of our centers get hurt, so that might have added to it. But that was really the only negative thing of the day. Texans trying to get something going, but Tyler Batty knocks the pass up and we end up getting yet another interception. That was Khalif's second pick of the day too. And so more Max Brosmer. What a pass and what a catch and bring down by Dante Fleming. So uh, that's all I have for the highlights and the breakdown of the film from the Texans versus the Vikings. But just want to go through some of the film highlights from the uh, Vikings channel that they had from the game, and just kind of break down some in comment in real time some of the video that some of you saw, maybe some of you guys didn't catch, or just pointing out some things that maybe you didn't notice in the time while the game in that very moment when the game was being played. So make sure you hit subscribe on all of our social media down there in the corner. Check out our Substack. We have great articles that we're writing all the time too for in-depth analysis. Make sure that you're following our social media and our Substack, the articles that we're writing. Again, you can support us with our sponsors that we have up in the corner. We appreciate everything from all of our followers, subscribers. Make sure that you're hitting likes. And again, great win by the Vikings today. I think I need to see more from JJ McCarthy, more than just one series. I would have liked him to get a second one. Other than that, it was a pretty good, solid performance. Defense started out a little bit shaky, but then overall, they had a really solid day and 3 takeaways. Uh, can't ask for much more than that. Our receivers really did well today. Uh, Quarterbacks, our backup quarterbacks, we thought that was a concern, and that looked pretty good today. I'm not saying it's still may not be something to think about. Sam Howell looked really solid today. Max Brosmer looked like he deserves to be a quarterback 3. Um, so a really solid day today. A lot of different positions. Um, people trying to make the team, making big plays. Gabriel Murphy coming up big. Our secondary really played solid. They had 3 takeaways from backup corners, but just a solid day overall. So good Vikings football. It was a great day. So thanks for watching as always. Skol Vikes, and then we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.